Okay, Shannon, how concerned are you?
I'm not concerned at all.
Not at all?
No, because guess what? The two guys that he came to play with have yet to play. If he's struggling like this, when AD and LeBron get back, wake me up. But it's hard for him to get a rhythm, Skip, because if I'm not mistaken, they've had a different lineup in every game in which he's been in. Now, the Lakers have never really had a guy since the players that have been there had a guy that needs the ball down on the block. LeBron gets the ball at the high post. LeBron gets the ball on outside. AD, the same thing. Drummond is a guy that needs the ball on the low block. And they're struggling to get it to him. And they don't understand that, Skip, okay, the guy's running up and down the court. He's rebounding. He's challenging shot. Sometimes you got to reward him, even though you got a set like, okay, we got this set called, no, hey, Vogues, we need to get Dre. We need to get Dre a couple of touches. So
He's now Vogues?
Yeah, Vogues. We need to get Dre a couple of touches on the block. But like he said, he knows why he's there. The rebounders hadn't stopped. He's still giving the Lakers 12 rebounds a game. Sure, you'd like to have him have somewhere between 8 and 12 points a game. But if he can continue to challenge shots, make it difficult inside for people, if he continues to give us those 12 rebounds, we're going to be just fine, because it doesn't matter what he's like playing with Tucker and Caruso and Kuzma and all those guys. It only matters if he still looks like this offensively when AD and LeBron comes. So I'm not concerned about Andre Drummond's offensive game, because it only matters once the big two comes back.
Well, I thought Rondo could get him the ball right where. Oh, wait a second. Rondo's not there anymore.
No,
he's a Clipper.
Right.
And the Clippers have won 6 straight with Rondo. Oh, I'm sorry. I digress.
Well, they had won 4 straight before Rondo got into the lineup. But okay. Go ahead. I see your point. You're trying to go.
Yeah. So, Kareem Abdul-Drummond, as I call him, the Lakers' savior, has now scored 3 points at Madison Square Garden and 4 points in a win. I'll give you that, in a win at Charlotte.
How many rebounds he had in no game?
And he had some rebounds. He had, 12 last night? Yeah. Well, that's interesting, because Bismack Biyombo had 12 and Caleb Martin had 10, starting at guard for the Charlotte Hornets. So it wasn't like Andre the Giant was dominating the post.
Well, also, Skip, the last couple of games, Trez has not been himself. He's struggling offensively, and he also hasn't been able to get on the glass like he normally does, but he has a lot of turnover. So Trez hasn't played as well as we like to see him play the last 2 games. But Andre Drummond's going to be fine, because once AD comes back, once LeBron comes back, the floor will be spaced a little better. The little guys won't be able to get their hands in there and try to get the ball when he puts it on the floor. So don't worry about what you see right now. It only matters what it's going to be like at the end of the month, when old Goat and Baby Goat is back.
Okay. Well, just a day ago, I read a story in which Andre Drummond said that he had perfected his ability to finish while he was a Cavalier, that he'd worked hard on finishing at the rim.
Right.
And then I'm thinking, well, 3 points and 4 points. And I thought, wait a second. You perfected your ability to finish for a team that dumped you. They just said, we're done with you.
Yeah, but Skip, that don't mean just because someone moves on from you, that doesn't mean that you don't work on your game while you're there. Okay, once they said, look, we're going to move in a different direction, we're not going to play you, he still practiced. He still worked on his game. He still perfected his craft. So even though his craft was no longer, his services would no longer be used in Cleveland, he knew he was going to get bought out, or he would get traded, and he would need to go somewhere and to be able to play.
I'm just having a hard time computing the fact that you have called this man the Lakers' savior, and that the Cleveland Cavaliers, who aren't very good, decided to cut bait with him. So their reject is your savior?
But here's the thing. Look at Dwight Howard. How many teams? Memphis didn't even want Dwight Howard. Atlanta moved on. Charlotte moved on. Houston moved on. L.A. moved on. Orlando moved on.
No, but he had a late career rebirth with you.
Okay, so what about JaVale? How many teams had JaVale McGee been on before he came to the Lakers? So are you telling me that Andre Drummond can't give us that, what they gave us last year?
You didn't call JaVale or Dwight your savior last year.
Skip, here's the thing. We need size. We need somebody. Look, what they thought they were going to get from Marc Gasol, they have not been able to get. This guy can play the pick and roll. He can hedge. He can also hedge and then get back and take away the roll. Andre Drummond is a better player at this current juncture than Marc Gasol. He's a better offensive player. He's a better defensive player. He's a better rebounder. That's what the Lakers need. Somebody that, if they go against Nurkic, if they go against Yoke, if they go against somebody, DeAndre Ayton, he can battle them 22 to 26 minutes on a nightly basis. That's what the Lakers need. Skip, he doesn't have to be Shaq. He doesn't have to be Kareem. He just has to be better than what they had.
What I want to know, bottom line, is how concerned you are with the nickname that he brought with him from Detroit, because the best part of that post-game interview last night was the first time I saw him talk at length.
Yeah, he's very personable.
Yeah. He was very personable, actually, but he talked about LeBron asking him about the nickname that he brought. If we could see that clip, please.
So you've been perpetuating that, Skip. You called him the big penguin.
Where did that come from? So he does love the movies Happy Feet and March of the Penguins.
Right.
Great movies.
Yes.
And he is infatuated with the penguins as a species.
Right.
Other animals he loves, I'm sure. But the point is, it stuck in Detroit that he was called by his teammates the big penguin. So LeBron, to his credit, walks up early on and says, wait a second, is that really your nickname? Yeah. Well, don't you think he needs a more aggressive nickname?
He didn't say, that's my big nickname. He says, I don't really know how that came to be. Skip, anytime you get a nickname, and being from the South, we give everybody a nickname. And something you wonder, like, how did you get that name? And then how did it stick? Because there's a lot of times, Skip, I giving guys nicknames in college, and here it is 30-plus years later, and they still go by that nickname. So it's hard to shake a nickname once you get it. I mean, it's just like, Skip, you couldn't shake Skip. Nobody ever called you by your good barbecue.
I was born with a nickname.
Yeah, but that's
what I got named that at birth because my father called my mother when they were dating, whatever they were doing, courting at that point.
Called a skip.
The skipper. You're the skipper of the ship.
Right.
And then the day I was born, they named me after my father, John Edward II.
Right.
But my mother immediately said, here's your little skipper.
Right.
And that was it.
Exactly.
And that was it. I never got called John one day in my life. So I was stuck with the nickname from day one, literally day one.
And that's kind of how it happens, Skip. It's kind of hard. You get a nickname. Your family start calling you that. That's why everybody else started calling you that, because your mom and dad and your brothers and sisters started calling you Skip. It's like, okay. So that's how it is. You get a nickname.
I don't mind Skip, but if I were called the Big Penguin, I don't think I would love that.
Well, look, Skip, look. Shaq had a bunch of nicknames, and all of them fit him. The Diesel, the Big Cactus, all those other names. Look, the man says he wants a more aggressive nickname. When he and LeBron get back, I'm going to start working on that, and I got something coming for you, Dre.
Really?
Yeah.
I found his demeanor in his interview to be classy and sophisticated and erudite.
You would never expect a man that size to be like as outgoing and it's kind of like funny. He's funny. He's human. He got a great sense of humor. You wouldn't expect that because, like I said, he played in Detroit and he played in Cleveland. He ain't getting a whole lot of interviews. Even when he get no 2020 ball games, Skip, ain't nobody cares. But now he on the big stage, showtime.
Well, and that's why I have pity for him.
Don't have pity for him.
If you think the pressure is getting to him now,
ain't no pressure.
Wait until the quote-unquote GOAT and the quote-unquote baby GOAT are flanking him on the basketball court. That's pressure. Wait
till that old master key come and unlock that offensive potential that Dre got.
Really?
Yeah, he coming.
Rondo ain't walking through that door again.
So not Rondo better than Bron. So not Rondo better than Bron.
That's setting the table, he is.
Don't do that, Skip. Yeah. Don't do that.
He set the table for Bron in the finals last year. That's all I saw.
Skip, why would you do that?
Well, you know what he's doing for the Clippers.
Skip, he's doing a great job for the Clippers. But see, doing a great job for the Clippers, and then talk about all of a sudden he set the table for LeBron and he's better than setting the table. Don't do that. Don't do that. Two things can be true. He can be doing a great job for the Clippers, but not what you said he did for the Lakers. Okay?
Final point. Your savior, the Big Penguin, is 0-8 in playoff games.
He said he wanted
0-8.
Skip, he said he wanted a more aggressive name. You're not helping the call by continue to call him the Big Penguin.
All right, he's Andre the Giant. Okay.
I was impressed, though, by his interview. I feel like I just want to continue talking to him, have more conversations. And, Shannon, you've given me a lot of nicknames that I have to stick with. Jumpsuit Jen, Hallmark Jen, Midwest Mary. I mean, those are just, those are my names now.
Yeah.
It's official.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.